Well, he's on those uppers and downers again. The uppers, a fantastic game of Yahtzee. 8 of them to be exact. The downer, this is gonna be difficult. Bro, this is a Rush album, okay? This is Signals by Rush. We're gonna try to beat the runtime in Yahtzee, but we only have 8 games to do it because this album only has 8 songs and they're averaging a long time. Over 300 seconds. That's 5 minutes per track. This is going to be a challenge. Let me just say that right now. We might be in trouble. Look, I think an album like this, we should be going for like 50%. We need to get 4 Yahtzees in 8 games. That's already tough, okay? We need to beat 8 songs. The shortest song is almost 4 minutes long. This is going to be tough. It is. I want to prepare you all for the possibility that we may not beat a single song. I think beating the album runtime itself is going to be difficult. Rush does dabble quite a bit in longer tracks. This album is no exception. Let's see what we can do. I think they're getting ready to tour again, right? Or are they doing like a Sphere residency or something? I know that they had to get a new drummer, obviously, because Neil Peart passed away like several years ago. Which, I kind of looked at them like REM. I never thought they would get back together, even to tour. I thought, it was those 3 guys for so long that it was just like, well, I might as well call it a day. But you can never say never when it comes to music and pro wrestling, it seems like. People love to let bygones be bygones. They love to move on with new members when they can. And hey, it's about the money, right? It's about the money and it's about the fans. So good for them. Me personally, don't have much of a connection to Rush. Certainly, their music is, it's a little bit more complex than most stuff that's out there. You're gonna see me leave Yahtzee open a lot early. This is, oh my God, this is not an ideal start here. Pissing away bonuses. We're not even getting close on this one. And I'm operating on, we couldn't even get a last 2. I gave up. This might be our lowest score of the entire series. I don't know, because I try to push those bad memories to the back of my head, but 137. Ain't no way. We have a lot of ground we have to make up now. It was already going to be a tall task. And honestly, it's pretty impressive that Geddy Lee can play the bass and sing at the same time, because his bass riffs are pretty, they're out there. There's a Yahtzee, by the way. First one of the day. I remember me and a couple buddies went to go see the Deftones. This is a long time ago. And I'm sorry, Deftones. It's not the Deftones. There's no the in the official name. And I think the Fall of Troy, which I do believe there is a the there, opened for them. And they were a 3-piece band, I'm pretty sure, kind of like Rush. And the lead singer was playing these super complex guitar riffs and singing at the same time. And I'm like, how is this band not a bigger deal? My only other exposure to them was it was either in Guitar Hero or Rock Band. They were one of the bonus songs, I guess, where the producers of the game, it was bands that they were in or people that they knew. That's a second Yahtzee. That's what I'm talking about. That's the good stuff. That's really good. We'll take the small straight there. Could have went a couple of different ways. It might have been better to take the full house, honestly. I don't know. But at least we got 2 Yahtzees, and we can at least say that we've beaten a song. So that's gonna be something. I am gonna try to go for the bonus. I think we got it. 368. Where does that rank? It's not one of our top 10 scores of the Beat the Runtime series, but it's very, very good. And it does help us because we had an abysmal game one. That being said, we're still well behind where we need to be. We're about 100 points behind where we need to be right now, if not more. So let's just continue on and not get too excited. I mean, obviously, we've got 2 Yahtzees out of 4 that was our goal, but that's really minor in the grand scheme of things. Here's an opportunity. I thought we were going to get that. We've been having pretty good luck getting 1-based Yahtzees lately. Okay. 6 is coming in. I don't need another straight, unfortunately. I do need a full house, but we'll go for 6s. Not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. I'll leave it open for one more. I mean, the chance of me getting multiple 3s, like 3 3s. I mean, there we go. We did give up on full house, so that was kind of the play we had to do. We do have Yahtzee open, so we have a shot at another one. 231 is honestly not bad, considering it's not bad given the circumstance of what we were given. But to think that, I mean, here we go. We got Digital Man and the Weapon are both like 6.5 minutes long. They're approaching 400 seconds in length. I mean, we're going to need multiple Yahtzees in both of these games. I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm sure it has happened somewhere, but. And I think that'll be an interesting statistic to look back on. Is what was the longest song we were able to beat, like on demand? Because it'd be one thing if I just played 10 games, right? And I just said, okay, well, one of my 10 games, I scored 400 points, so let's just apply it to the 7-minute song. Then that's not fun. It's all about the context of the here and now. And I think going through the songs in order, kind of informs that decision making a little bit more and, changes it from a scenario where it's like, well, just put the best score that you possibly can up, as opposed to, hey, this is a specific goal you're trying to meet. I should have taken a 3s there. I don't know what I was thinking. That was just an oversight on my part. So hopefully we can get the 3s back. Thank goodness we did. 255. I mean, that's like an optimal score, but I wouldn't say that play was optimal. So we're halfway through, and we're well behind where we need to be. For context, we need to average about 400 points a game for the next 4 games to beat the album runtime. I would say our most realistically achievable goal, and it has been since we kind of tweaked the system a bit, is the Yahtzee Frenzy. When I first started doing this, if you look at like the first, I don't know how many episodes it was, like first 10 episodes or so, you'll notice that number that we're trying to hit is much, much higher, much more difficult to reach. And it was actually like too high. And some could say, well, now you've made it too low, but I don't know. I mean, we are hitting it most of the time. I will give you that. But we're not hitting it all the time. I see 5s. I go for 5s. Pretty good chance. I mean, technically, it's like a 3 of a kind or full house. Here's a Yahtzee opportunity that we did not get. Large straight. Thank you. We do need 2s and 4s. Yeah, we would need 5 2. We would need a Yahtzee of 2s if I take these 4s now. I'll try one more time to get them. Let's try to go for a Yahtzee here, maybe. And just, oh my God, we got it! Wow. Okay. Let's go for the 2s. Okay, now we need 3 4s. Now we need 3 4s. 255 for the second game in a row. Well under what we need for the Weapon. And now we get shorter songs. comparatively speaking, that is. New World Man, great track, great track. Shortest song on the record. Still it's 3:44 in length. Is that what the experts are saying? I mean, certainly difficult. And I think as we go on this journey and look at these albums, which, by the way, feel free to send in your suggestions because I am beginning to record those. It's going to get very, very interesting how the song lengths trend over time. If you listen to modern pop music, I feel like a lot of the stuff that's out there now skews way, way shorter than stuff from the 80s, 70s. Really, the 60s had a lot of short songs, but they would splice it up with longer songs. You know, you would have like, and they did that in the 70s too. Especially I go to like Led Zeppelin is like my big example. It's like, you know, they would have the radio songs would be like 3 minutes long, and then they would have like something that's like 9.5 minutes on there. Which, I mean, I do like when I pick up an album and it's like there's some long boys on there. I think is very cool. But it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of effort to as a listener to get through. It's like that, you know, Taylor Swift did the 10-minute version of All Too Well. And I've grown to really like Taylor Swift's music in the past couple years. And so, of course, I went back and listened to pretty much all the older stuff that she did. And that, I wouldn't say that's old, but you know what I mean? It's not like her newest stuff is not that. But I don't understand, like, when it comes to that 10-minute song, the 10-minute version of that song, that's not a song that should be 10 minutes long. It's just like additional verses is all it is. There's no solos. There's no like kind of experimental parts. There's nothing that really, there's no arcs that go through it. Like, it's just a song that's 10 minutes for the sake of being 10 minutes. And you can't convince me otherwise. And, you know, I have very little to say negatively about her body of work, but like these fanboys and fangirls that like are like obsessed with this 10-minute version of the song, it's like, it's so freaking boring. Like, go listen to, you know, go listen to some early Smashing Pumpkins. Go listen to some Tool. Now, they don't sound anything like Taylor Swift, but at least you'll understand why those songs are long, because there's different parts, there's different things happening. You can't just add a bunch of verses to a song to pad its length indefinitely and make it long. That's how I felt. That's what I felt like that song did. So, but generally, when I see a long track, I am very excited. Thinking of some albums that did this well. There's a Yahtzee. Thank you. That meets that goal. Only one we'll get. Well, hold on. Can we get like a huge score maybe? Like Blur's album 13. There's a couple long songs on that, and like it makes sense that they're long. I think that is like done really well. I think Smashing Pumpkins, you know, their first few albums, they did that pretty well too, where they would throw a couple like longer songs on. I think Foo Fighters did it recently too. I mean, length isn't everything. Just ask my wife, right? But it's certainly an interesting facet of music that I think gets overlooked. We are just completely screwing ourselves here at the end. Nothing good has happened pretty much this entire episode from a Yahtzee standpoint, aside from the fact that we got 4 Yahtzees. Let's look at the damage here. It was always going to be a fruitless endeavor to try and achieve a high rating on a prog rock album like this. This is like going up against a Genesis or Yes record. Truthfully, very difficult. We'll certainly have more like this. Even Metallica, even like, most Metallica albums would be difficult. Probably more difficult than this. 64.67. I mean, I'll take it. I was thinking 50 was my like internal mental goal for what we could have done with this. And I mean, I'm looking through these album suggestions that you have been putting in the comments and sending me. We're gonna have some interesting ones we're gonna have to kind of come up with some strategies around. So maybe I was probably not as aggressive here as I'd like to be, but I wanted to at least beat a couple songs, I guess. So I kind of played it safe. Ironically, we beat one by 100 points and beat one by like 4. We'll be back tomorrow. Another album is waiting in the wings. We'll see what that is. Until then, feel free to subscribe. That would be very nice if you did that. Everyone would like that.